are this morning at Wesley United Methodist Church. And for those of you who know me or don't know me, I'm Dick Derby, and I have become the face, I guess, over all these years. I'm with Pastor Scott Sherrill this morning, and we're talking about Project Keep Kids Warm. And the objective of our gathering today is to actually show a lot of people, both in our church and throughout our community, what the behind the scenes looks like on Project Keep Kids Warm. And here's a poster to kind of let us begin with kind of walking you through how this program works. And Scott, you had asked me earlier today, before we came up into our room here, about how long this program has been going on. And we've been saying in the media message that this is the 15th winter season that Project Keep Kids Warm has been sponsored by Wesley United Methodist Church and backed up by our generous friends and donors and other volunteers from all across Marquette County, mostly on the West End, and where we are taking care of Ishpeming, the school district, and Westwood Aspen Ridge, Republic Michigami, and we, takes us to Powell Township up in Big Bay would be one that's a little bit not so West Endish, Negaunee, and the Head Start programs that are all in those districts. So this covers a broad footprint, and it looks like that. And where we're providing snow pants, boots, jackets, hats, mittens, and gloves for the kids that we identify as having those needs. And so there's another question that comes up right away about how that all happens. And people would remember in years past that we would all go to the Ishpeming Armory after a big fall collection of slightly used or new winter clothing, and those would all be handed out on a free shopping day to the public. And with the advent of COVID and then post-COVID, we've had to change that model. And now we work very closely with school administrators and the staff at all these various schools to identify those families and those children. And then we get an order of the things that they need, and then we fill those orders. And so that actually brings us here into the hallway of our church where we are. And we were just talking to one of our volunteers who was here organizing some of these bags, and these all have a name and a school district on them of orders that we're filling, and these are there's a lot of them today that will be going out to those schools. I think we're waiting for just a few more to be filled and a couple of other items to be put together. But these are the bags that are going back out to those children. And I might say just in time, because it's kind of a cold, rainy day today, and the news is starting to talk about snow. So the timeliness of this is really great, that as those kids suddenly have a need for winter clothing, they're going to get it. And that's what it's all this in these bags are winter clothes for kids.
So let's go take a look at what we put in the bags.
So here are the bags, and now we have to look at how that all happens. And this has been an incredible process that's come together over the last couple of years. We try to figure out how to streamline the orders coming in and gathering the clothing and getting them into those bags that you just saw and then back out to the schools. And so some, again, wonderful volunteers that we can never thank enough from our church organized this room on kind of our second story. And as we're following along with the camera, you're seeing that we now have this all put together by boy and girl, and we've got sections of jackets, and here are gloves and hats, and then down here along the floor we have boots of all different sizes, again lined up, whether they're for little boys or little girls, and then snow pants of various sizes. And so when those orders come in, we're able to, and here's the table where all this paperwork takes place. When those orders come in, we then go through these bins and across all these clothing racks and pick all those items and check them off of the wish list, if you will, and then put them in the bags and get them back to the children at the schools. So this is just a wonderful environment that we've created here to do that. And as items are coming in, and so let me digress for a moment, Scott. I say items are coming in. We have a lot of people in the community that ask how they can help, and they donate new winter clothing items. We've had to be much more careful about accepting used clothing, and again, kind of a post-COVID situation that we were very sensitive to. And so the new clothing comes in and it gets sorted and then put in these various bins and racks, and it's all labeled with sizes and everything that makes it real easy to put together on the orders. And you were asking me earlier about how people can help and how the community responds to this each year. And it has now come down to financial donations. And so we reach out to area businesses and we reach out to the public at large, talking about Project Keep Kids Warm each year and what it does and how it works and who we're serving, and ask people to, again, make a financial donation to Wesley United Methodist Church with a footnote on the check that says Keep Kids Warm. 100% of that money goes to what you see here in the room. We are a volunteer organization, and there's no overhead, there's no cost or expense to this. 100% of every dollar that's donated goes to purchasing new winter clothing for Project Keep Kids Warm. And so, kind of as a side note to that, we are now very well known at all of the major stores in the Marquette area, and I think even some that are outside the area, and they work very, very hard to give us special discounts and everything that allow us to stretch those dollars and optimize all of our purchases. And so that activity is now going on as well. So we have financial donations coming in. We have our volunteers that go out and do the shopping, so the clothing is coming in, new clothing donation, and then all of that turns into this process of filling those orders.
And do you have any idea how many kids we serve each year?
A wonderful question. Last year, we served 460 children.
It's amazing.
And we'll assume that list may look something like that again this year. And this is where you hear my voice change on this. It becomes a bit more of a sobering situation in our message to the community and even within our own church, that we are a tight-knit series of towns and districts and school districts here. We are a neighbor help neighbor community. We've said this for years and years and years, and we're all familiar with that family that maybe is struggling with a more difficult economic situation, or perhaps someone unfortunately lost a job, or there's been an illness, or the car breaks down, and all of a sudden to try to budget for winter clothing becomes very difficult. And so those are the families that we're trying to help when those situations arise and we identify them. We're reaching out to those people.
And that winter clothing isn't a luxury, it's a necessity.
And it is a necessity. And when children are outside playing or they're at recess on the playgrounds, we want them to be warm and adequately dressed. So.
All right. Thank you, Dick, for taking us around and giving us a backstage and a little more information about Keep Kids Warm.